The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's small business webinar. We will be getting started at 11 a.m. promptly. I'm excited about having everybody here in attendance, and we will be introducing ourselves momentarily. So sit back and relax. In addition to that, you will see that Vaya has opened up the chat at the bottom. We would love to get some feedback and hear from you all. There is a raising of the hands option that appears to have just appeared. So, we'll have time for questions and answers, but so that you do not miss an opportunity to, go ahead and drop any questions that you may have into the chat window at any time to ensure that we engage and reach all of you. All right? We'll be getting started in roughly 2 minutes. So once again, if anyone has any questions, go ahead and drop it into the question window below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, good morning, good early in the day for everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Austin Hill. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships at Harford Community College. My role is to connect with the business community and find out what your needs are and see how the college can be able to support you. One of the feedbacks that I've been getting and receiving during my tour of Harford County is the need for social media understanding. There are business owners who do not fully understand social media, how to incorporate it. So what I did is I took that back to our leadership and was able to get one of our lead instructors and specialists, Via Skinner. So Via, if you want to go ahead and take over and introduce yourselves and go ahead and get started with today's session.
Great, thanks, Austin. And hi, everybody, and welcome to our 1-hour webinar for small business. I'm so happy to see 30 attendees already in the room today. First, I want everybody to drop me a line real quick in the chat because I want to make sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, say, I can hear you, and make sure that you have access to your chat so that you can ask a question. I want to make this as informative as possible for everybody. So it's important for me that if you have a question, we get it answered for you today, and we make the most of this hour. So take a second and find your chat and go ahead and drop me a message real quick. Austin, can you do the same? We'll just make sure that our chat is working, make sure everything's functioning properly, and that everybody can hear us. I'll take about 30 seconds for that. Great, thanks. I see Austin. Anybody else? We just want to make sure that everyone can hear us.
So one of the things that I'm noticing, so there is a chat box and there's also a question box. So if we can add it, ladies and gentlemen, if you would not mind sending it to the chat box and not the question box, that would be most helpful. But I'm receiving a lot of "I can hear you."
Great. Let's chat box, and then that way I'll have one place that I'm looking at during the presentation today.
One question is,
Thanks, everybody.
Will the recording be viewable to the public? So we're going to work with our communications department to try to have it added to our YouTube page so that it can be viewable for the public.
Yes. All right, so everybody keep that chat window open, and let's use that as our primary method of communication for today. And let's go ahead and get started. So again, welcome, and my name is Via Skinner. I am going to be leading you through today's training. Just a little bit about myself. I have more than 20 years experience in advertising. In my previous life, I directed integrated campaigns for Fortune 500 retail, consumer, and business-to-business clients. And I really enjoyed working with advertising because it gave me a lot of opportunity and training on how to create huge advertising campaigns for large brands. But my heart is really with small business. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My family is from Greece, and I'm a first-generation American. And my parents were small business people, and so were most of my family. So I grew up with understanding that a small business person wears many hats, and you have to become a specialist in a lot of different areas in order to run your business. So what I ended up doing is raising my family and also creating my own digital marketing consultancy, where I help small businesses, a lot of businesses in our area in Harford County, like restaurants, consultants in finance and travel and real estate, help them create marketing plans that are sustainable, that are affordable to them, and that they can do themselves. Ultimately, I like to teach everyone to be a fisherman and help you learn to do things on your own. As you can see here on the slide, I currently work at the college in the office of the president, and I manage communications for all of the president's staff. It's a great asset to our community to work at Harford. We have so many awesome programs, and I encourage everyone to look and see what other webinars and skills training that we offer for your small business. All right, let's dig in. So during this hour of training, you're going to learn why you need to an engaging social media presence. Why, where, what, when, how. We're going to cover them all. I hope you have a pen and paper along with your cup of coffee so that you can jot some notes and really just kind of get the feel and understanding of what you need to create a engaging social media presence for your business. Also, at the end of this, I want you to learn how to save time and money and energy to trying to figure things out on your own. But I want you also to know that after this 1-hour seminar, we're going to also offer a 2-day webinar in November. I'll tell you more about that at the end, but that's going to be going into a lot greater detail with specifics on what I teach today. So why do I need social media? And I believe we have a poll that we're going to share with everybody right now on why we need social media. Okay, so I know that Austin has a poll that he has created, and I am curious to have that come up on the screen and take a look at the results.
Yes, so it says that the poll is being collected, and we have 81% of the votes currently. So give it a couple more seconds. We're now up to 83%. Thank you to everybody. 86%, we're almost there. 89%, just a few more. 92, let's give it 10 more seconds. If you have not voted, I would just ask that you vote. That way we are able to close out the poll, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, Vi, based on the feedback, 6% of our attendees said in order to generate exposure, 6% said to drive traffic to their website, and 88% said all of the above.
All right, that's great. So you're right there with me. So the answer is D, all of the above. You're trying to do a lot of things with your social media. You want to generate exposure. You want to increase your sales. You're going to drive traffic to your website. Take a look at the graphic that I have up on the screen right now. And this comes from the Social Media Examiner Social Media Marketing Report from this year. 86% of marketers say that they are trying to increase exposure. 78% increase traffic, generate leads. This is the reason why you have social media is to engage with your customers and your prospects. So all of the above is absolutely correct. So here's my next question for you. Where should I post? I believe we have a poll for that too. Austin?
So unfortunately, hold on, give me 1 second so I can pull it up.
If it doesn't work, we can do an old-fashioned
We may have to
answering
do old-fashioned for this one.
We'll do an old-fashioned one. Okay, everybody. So our next question is, we're going to ask you to answer in the chat. Which social media platform is best for my small business? A, Facebook, B, Twitter, C, LinkedIn, D, Instagram, or E, all of the above. So let me see some chat responses here.
All right, so in the questions box, we have some E's, D, Instagram. Chat is not working. Go ahead and drop it in the question section. I'm monitoring that. So a lot of E's. Sue has said it depends based on the audience age. Twitter and LinkedIn, E. A few more E's, a couple more all of the above. So great.
All right, great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share the answer here. The answer is E, all of the above. Don't get complacent because I changed these around a little bit. So it's not going to always be E, all of the above, just letting you know. But the most commonly used social media platforms are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Those are the four that we are going to cover today. I'm going to concentrate on these four. YouTube is something I would have loved to have covered today, but I just didn't feel like we had enough time to fully devote to it. And I'm definitely going to include that when we have our 2-day webinar in November, because that's very important to cover the ins and outs of video. But all of them, as you can see, 94% choose Facebook. That is the primary vehicle. That's where most people are. Unless you're under 25 years old, then you're on Instagram. That's where the majority of that younger demographic likes to hang out. LinkedIn, Twitter, coming up with 59 and 53% respectively. Again, different audiences and different needs. That's, you know, the reason why you have these four different platforms is everybody uses them a little bit differently, and we'll go into that. Here's an overview for you. Share a little bit more on these different channels. So there are so many people who use Facebook since its inception back in 2007, 1.3 billion users. And the purpose of Facebook is to build relationships. We all know this because we use it in our personal lives. But in the same way that you use it to engage your friends and your family across the country, around the world, is what you're trying to do with your prospective customers and your existing customers. This is where you begin these relationships. People get a feel for you. They get a feel for what your business is all about, whether they want to come and spend their dollars at your store. It's best for building brand loyalty. Can't stress Facebook enough for a platform to reach your audience. Twitter, totally different use on Twitter. You know, you're limited to just a small amount of area where you can send your message out. But there, again, 600 million users are on Twitter, and it's public. It's a very public relationship. So the way I like to think about Twitter is you're broadcasting out to everyone when you broadcast out to Twitter. And it's more like a news headline, and that's how you should think of it when you're creating your post for Twitter. It's basically a news headline and a photo. And I'm not going to cover YouTube, although I wanted it to be in here to let you know that there are 1.57 billion users on YouTube, and it is the place to be. Whether you're looking for a how-to video or you're looking to learn something new, this is where everybody's finding that content. LinkedIn, again, 600 million users. It's a all business environment for networking and business development. So it's all B2B. And then bringing in the rear here is Instagram with 200 million users. Again, the thing about Instagram is this is an audience. If you want to differentiate between Instagram and Facebook, Instagram is supposed to be all images. It is supposed to be the place where the image drives more than the words do. Again, lead generation, retail, art, food, businesses. We'll go more into detail on that. But here are some important takeaways from you on social media channels. Facebook is #1. Marketers are starting to diversify a little bit away from Facebook because they're starting to incorporate more YouTube and Instagram in their mix. But 59% of marketers say that Facebook's most important. Instagram is hot. 67% of marketers are using Instagram, and it's the second most important social platform for marketing. YouTube is high. It's the #1 video channel. And 69% of the marketers surveyed say that they're planning to increase their use of YouTube video. So these are some takeaways I would like you to jot down, and these are the 4 channels that are important to you. Not going to cover Snapchat. I don't want you to worry about Snapchat right now or some of these other channels that you might hear. They're still in the up and coming, and they're not worth the time right now for you to focus on as a small business. And next, what type of content should I post? I have another question for you guys. Okay. Do we have a poll, or should we just go with the question box? Austin?
Social media, hold on.
Oops,
I
I
have
accidentally went.
why social media. Only post. I have. Wait 1 second. Here we go.
Great. Everybody take the poll here. We'll make it a little fun for everybody on my true or false question here. I should only post sales ads to my social media account. True or false? How are we doing with our poll there, Austin?
So we are at 95%. We have a couple more if we can get those other votes in, but it's unanimous. The answer is false.
You guys, you got it. The answer is false. There's a lot of different types of content that you should post on your business social media page. Educational videos, podcasts, high resolution photos, job listings, business news, updates. Sales ads are definitely, they're there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're thinking, why would I want to post all this other stuff? I want to get the ad out there. If anybody's on here from Thompson Toyota, because I think I saw your registration, I mean, you're probably thinking, Via, I don't want to post any educational videos. All I want to do is get people over here so they can buy a car. Well, one of the things that I think about as a marketer and as a consumer in Harford County is where should I spend my dollars? I use social media as kind of a way to shop around, get a feel for who is working at Thompson Toyota, the type of environment that's there. I decide based on what I see and what's posted, whether I want to go visit. Are they friendly? Are they clean? Are they, incorporating social distancing guidelines? Are they wearing masks? And what are their deals? What are their promotions? All these things go into the mind of a consumer when they're looking at your social media. So take a look at the chart for Facebook. Yes, go ahead and post some educational videos. If you're a realtor, this is a good time for you to share some content from the Realtor Association. Become a thought leader. Let people know that you are up to date with the current practices, of your industry. On Instagram, post a gorgeous photo of a car, or if you're a finance consultant, this is the place for an infographic to share people. Maybe you want to, maybe this month you're trying to get people to sign up for IRAs. This is the place to pitch the why they should do it in a very interesting, with a very interesting graphic. Twitter, if you just added a new product to your product line, tweet it out. This is a great place for news items and blogs. Now, I used this, I'm going to go to this next slide, which I started talking about on the previous slide, but let's narrow down a little bit here, just talking about Facebook. So here's what I think you should post on Facebook. New product profiles. Again, you have a new product, there's a new car coming out, you're a hairstylist, and there's a new product offering. This is the place to showcase that, put that announcement out there, and ask for engagement. Facebook is great because it allows you to have that comment box where people can ask you questions and you can answer them immediately, and you can start that dialogue. You can use Facebook Messenger. If somebody wants to ask you a question about your hours or your location, this is the perfect time to become an ambassador for your business and show them who you are and what you offer. Company news, resharing material from associations, this is the perfect place for it to build into your social media calendar. And I'll talk more about the calendar in a little bit. And for Twitter, you want to generate traffic to your website. And that's what I hear from a lot of small businesses. It's how do I get people over to our website? Back in the old days, it used to be that you could put a sign out front of your business, or, you'd depend on walk-in traffic, or you would put a really expensive ad on TV. But now you use Twitter and you use your social media platforms. And here you generate traffic to your website by sharing news and a URL back to your site. You share some trade information, some product information, but they should be short, quick blasts of information, almost teasers. Think teasers to get people to want to click on the link and go learn more about you and to your website. Where on your website, and this again is a more in-depth conversation, they would find a contact box where they can click for more info. I'm sure many of you already have a sales funnel on your website where you collect information from prospective customers where your salespeople can then follow up. So this is the way to get them there. I'll give you an example for Instagram. Instagram has to be really, really good photos of your topic of interest. This is where you share really great high-res photos. I did work for a diner not too long ago, and we had held a small photo shoot. I mean, we did it right. We took photos of all of the top dishes, and we lit them well. We made them look fantastic, and we put them out on Instagram. And we picked the right time of day when people were super hungry, and they got a fantastic response to their ads. And you don't want to keep hitting the same photos of food or of cars or of the houses that you're listing if you're a realtor. Other things are important too, because again, you're trying to engage in a dialogue with your prospects. Interesting quotes. Using the story feature on Instagram, which again is something I'll go into detail in our 2-day. But stories is kind of like a quick bit of information for the day. It's something that's a little less formal, more casual. It's up at the very top of the Instagram app, and it lets you put something out. So if I am a cafe on Main Street, or if I'm on the Route 40 corridor and I want to get people in for lunch, that's where I put my my specials of the day, and I let people know what time to come in and what we're offering. I also want to point out on Instagram, one thing I noticed that people often miss because maybe they're not sure of how to use it properly, but Instagram uses hashtags. Hashtags, and everybody who's my age probably knows them as the pound sign, because that's what it used to be called. But the hashtags are very important because they help people search and find your content. So if I am on Instagram and I'm looking for the best crab cake in town, I'm going to type in crab cake in the search box. And any restaurant in Harford County that has used the hashtag crab cake is going to come up in the search results. So no matter what your industry is, I want you to search and see, do your own search and see what kind of hashtags come up for your business. Include them in your Instagram posts. That's very important because that gets you out of the people who are following your page and into that places you should follow search window on Instagram. So it takes you out of your universe and into a bigger universe of people who could potentially follow your page. So let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is all business news. It's specifically business. This is where you want to share your company news. If you have a blog, this is where you would post your blog teaser. I know a lot of businesses use a blog so they can make themselves seen and like thought leaders, industry thought leaders. And that's where you share your expertise. So if you're a financial planner and you keep a blog all about financial planning for your prospects, this is where you would post that blog lead in on LinkedIn. So you could share the post and then lead people back to your website. Again, working on that funnel, getting prospects to your website so you can then capture their data and follow up with them and help them along the sales funnel. Any type of professional content is good here. I personally love repurposing content. There's things from the Marketing Association that I like to reshare. Anything that is timely and relevant that I think that people in my network would gain from, I like to share here on LinkedIn. Are there any questions? Because I know I have covered a lot. And before we move on to the when we should post, and I talk about time frame, are there any questions? I can't see the questions.
I have a question for you. So
great.
So Rich Bennett asks, is there a program you use to add multiple URLs to your Instagram page?
So the way that Instagram works is they do not allow you to drop a URL in your post. You have to use a link in bio feature. So I don't have one that I recommend. I would search for that. I would do a Google search, and I believe it's called link in bio. And there's another one that's called that's retail Linktree, and
the other, yeah.
So those are subscription based, and you put that on your profile page, on the profile section of your Instagram profile in your Instagram account, and that way people can find those links and follow them. So I also have a recipe blog, and I know a lot of folks who are recipe bloggers will post a recipe, and then because there's so many, the course of time that they post, they drop that link in that link tree, so that if you want to go back and find something that was previously posted, you can then find it there. I hope that answers your question. Are there any other questions?
Another question. Will there be a way to rewatch the presentation? So we're going to work with our marketing department, Tiara, in order to see if we can get this posted to the YouTube channel, and that way we'll be able to share with more people. So thank you for that question.
Okay.
Any additional questions? I'm trying to see. If you have additional questions, please drop it into the box.
All right, well, I'm going to move on, and I would like to not do the poll because I want to save a little bit of time, and I'm just going to ask the question and then have everybody just drop it, and we'll go into the question box because I have a whole bunch more things that I want to cover here. So my next question for everybody is, when should I post? And this is a huge area for everybody that I'm often asked is, when is the best time to post to social media to reach my customers? So let me ask everyone here. We'll take a poll, we'll have it in our question box. Well, when do you think is the best time to reach your customers? Anytime? When it's convenient as the small business owner, and the only time that you have to post probably after you get your other responsibilities done is maybe at night, when it's most convenient, or depending on the channel. So Austin, what are some of the answers that are popping up there?
So I have a lot of D's. A lot of people say it depends on your audience. For me, Harford County living, it's between 9 to 6 on weekdays. Depends on channel. Somebody said C.
Well, the answer. So the answer to this question is D. It depends on the channel. Each channel has its own appropriate time to post. And if you post it at the right time, you're guaranteed to get the most viewers and the most eyeballs on your post. So let's look at Facebook and Twitter. So Facebook, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The best days are Saturday and Sunday because that's when everybody is mostly off of a traditional work week, and they have there's the most engagement on Facebook. And between 1 and 4 p.m. is the time to post to get your content seen. So Facebook users usually browse on their desktops, and they check it also during downtime at work. So we're not covering MailChimp today, but if anybody does any email campaigns, 1 to 2 p.m. is also the good time, a great time of day on that Tuesday, Thursday, to post, to send out any kind of email blasts. So Facebook, 1 to 4 p.m. is usually the best time to post. And again, it depends on your industry, so everybody is different. But if you're a restaurant, you want to post before lunch, before dinner, late in the evening to get your message out. Think about your sales cycles and when people most of the times come to visit you, and then you want to post the content ahead of time when you think that people are in the mindset of making that visit out to your business. Twitter, the best time for Twitter is during the lunch hour, 12 to 1 p.m. Saturday and Sunday on Twitter are no-go. Those are the worst time to post on the weekend. But if you post at lunch every day, Monday to Friday, you're going to see an increase in your social media engagement, Monday through Friday. The other thing about Twitter is people do not scroll backwards on Twitter like they do on Facebook. So if you post in the morning, you're going to want to post again midday and evening. And don't worry, I know that you don't have a lot of time to be posting 3 times a day. But I wanted to point out to you that Twitter is definitely more of a news headline tool, and it's a place where you can post more frequently to get your news out there. So let's look at LinkedIn and Instagram. So LinkedIn is during the working hours. Again, this is a business tool. This is when people are looking at this for business reasons, networking, getting out company news, sharing business-related facts and information. It's used by recruiters, salespeople, business people between 10 and 11 during the week, and then on avoiding Saturdays and Sundays because those are the worst days. I just want to stress to everybody, it is not Facebook. It is definitely a place to only share business-related info. Every time I get on LinkedIn or I think about posting something, my question that I ask myself is, would I share this in a meeting at work? If it's not something that I would share in a meeting at work, it's not something that I would post to LinkedIn. So be cautious there and ensure that anything that you post is only business related. Let's talk about Instagram. So the best time on Instagram is 11 to 1, and then again at night, 7 to 9. Wednesdays get the highest level of engagement, and most Instagrammers tend to log in via mobile. So they tend to avoid browsing during the work hours. So when you're putting your Instagram posts out there, think lunch hour, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. So questions on when I should post.
So one of the questions that was asked was, is there a best time for Instagram post by Lisa?
Mm-hmm. Lisa, between 11 and 1. So when you're planning out your Instagram posts, lunchtime during Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days. So that is the best time of day. And these are based on marketing statistics that are very current. Instagram is a tool that's also used at night and used on the weekend, but these are the times that are peak engagement times. So I would use I would jot down these best time to post from these channels for your notes. Anybody with any industry specific questions? Feel free to ask them.
Any industry specific questions?
Anybody want to ask something about their specific small business? There are no bad questions or no questions that are too small. All right, if there aren't any questions, I can move on. Okay, so that was the overview of your 4 channels. We cover the 4 social media channels. So what I want to cover now is how to get started. So get a piece of paper and a pencil ready, and let's talk about what 4 things you can do to get started. So I want to share this graphic with you because I am a big believer in working smarter and not harder. So this graphic really speaks to me because it shares this SMART strategy. So be specific, make it measurable, make your goal attainable, make it realistic, and think about time. I know who you are. You're small businesses that don't have a lot of time to spend to create a social media strategy and then upkeep it. I'm sure you're probably worrying about the upkeep right now. And what I would say about that is designate somebody within your organization to be the owner of your social media platform. And find out who is interested, who raises their hands, and who seems excited. The person with their phone in their hand all the time is a good person to put in charge of your social media because they're interested and they're on the channels and they understand how to use them. But I want you to set real numbers with real deadlines. And if you know what your goal is and you're able to take your goal and keep it forefront in your mind, you're going to be able to create a measurable strategy that you can then execute on these social media platforms. And I fully believe in working towards a goal that's challenging but possible. So make your goal attainable. Don't worry about posting to all the channels your first week out doing this, because you're going to get overwhelmed. Concentrate on one platform. Take Facebook, for example, and make that the only thing that you work on for a month. Make your goal realistic and know what your team is capable of. So you're going to make mistakes for a little while, but that's okay. It's absolutely okay. You know, as long as you keep plugging away at it slowly but surely, over a period of time, you are going to see an increase in followers and an increase in engagement. I have seen it time and time again with small business people who've gone from 10 followers to 2 and 5,000 followers in 6 to 9 months, and they're floored by it. So give yourself a deadline too. That's the other thing that I would tell you to do is, tell yourself that, at the end of October, I'm going to do these 3 things, which leads me into my next slide. Like, pick out, I want you to, oh, go ahead.
Because we had 2 important questions I don't want you to skip over.
Okay.
So one question from Lisa is, how do you post on LinkedIn for a life coaching business?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to?
So for a life coach, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, bye.
Oh, okay. So for a life coaching business for LinkedIn, that is a great place where I would share what a life coach does, because I bet that's probably the first question you get often is what does a life coach do? So if you have content that you can reshare from within your life coaching associations or other content that could share to people the benefits of having a life coach, I think that would be great content to share. The other thing I would also put out to people is some type of free or reduced consultation, maybe a webinar or a 10-minute talk of some sort that people can get with you, through GoToMeeting or Teams, and learn a little bit about what you do. So some type of icebreaker content I think would work great.
Thank you. Next question from Deborah. New business just starting up. Do not have a website yet. Is it okay to just use social media channels?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The reason why that you want to have that website, and I would get it working, is because your website is home base. So your website is going to be where, so let's say I go to Facebook and you posted something that I think is fabulous. Well, what's my next step? What do you want me to do from there? Now, if you have a link that I can click on and go to your website to read more about you and to perhaps sign up for a newsletter, if I give my email address, or perhaps you're offering a free ebook, or you're offering a free test drive, or if you're a realtor, you're going to take me out or maybe give me some statistics on my neighborhood and how to sell my house. So the website's key because it's going to help you get that information from that prospect, put it into your database, and be able to follow up and create a follow-up engagement with them.
Great. And then Emma wrote, how do you increase followers with organic posts only?
Okay. So it's become harder on Facebook to get the organic content, or the organic followers, sorry, because they had moved about 5 or 6 years ago, they moved to an advertising model, and they want you to boost your post on Facebook, which means to pay for people to see your posts. For organically, I'll tell you, a couple of the ways that you can do it organically is to tie in with your local business associations here in Harford County, piggyback onto their posts. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the next 2 slides, so you can get greater reach. So for example, Bel Air News and Happenings, I believe, is one of the community pages. Sometimes they put information out there about happenings in the area. Call them. Find out what's on their editorial calendar that you can piggyback on that's relevant to your business That's a great way for organic reach. I'm going to talk about it in a couple slides, but Small Business Saturday and the November push for small business is coming up. Find those hashtags and use them on your posts on Instagram and on Facebook, because when people search for information, they will your posts will come up using that hashtag. In our 2-day webinar, we're going to go into a little bit about using posts, boosting posts strategically to help increase your followers. Any other questions?
Nope, that's it. So go ahead and continue on.
Great. So what I have up on the screen right now is the nuts and bolts. Like, I wanted you to walk away from today with a how to get started like today. So once you get off this call, here's what I want you to think about. So I'm going to put my marketing hat on, because everything to me leads back to marketing strategy, and that is timeless. It doesn't matter whether you're advertising on TV, on the radio, social media, in a newspaper, or you have a sign outside of your business. You're going to want to go back to your marketing strategy, and you want to pick out what your strategy is for the period of time. So I feel like a 4-week period of time is enough time to craft a strategy and then execute it and then measure it. So that's why I'm picking a 4-week calendar for you. So let's talk about October. What's happening in October? Some of the strategies would be to generate traffic to your website. You might have an October sales promotion that you want to put out there. You want to increase traffic to your store. So those are the things that, as a small business person, you're thinking about. I could drill deeper. I could say, I want to close 4 houses this month, or I want to take 15 people on tours of homes, or I have a service-based business and I need to get 10 new prospects in the door this month. Whatever those goals are, write them down on a piece of paper. Don't make it too many, because it's too much. Remember the SMART chart? I want you to pick out 3 to 4 things that you're going to do. Then let's overlay those goals onto a seasonal theme calendar. So for example, there was a restaurant that I did marketing for in the area, and we tied in our generating traffic to the restaurant, to breast cancer awareness. We all know that in October, everything is pink. So they were able to help the Susan G. Komen Foundation by sponsoring a contest. So every Wednesday night, whoever came into the restaurant and ate dinner would drop their name into a hat. And we had giveaways and different things associated with Susan G. Komen. The other thing that the restaurant did is they gave a certain number of proceeds to the charity. So I think it was 10% or so of proceeds went to Susan G. Komen. What this allowed us to do is show our commitment to the area, our commitment to a charity that was very important to this business, and we were able to promote it on social media through all of our channels as a worthy reason to come out to our restaurant on Wednesday nights. So it gave people a reason to support small business. So we tied in a business goal, we tied it into a theme, then we used social media to advertise and to make posts that were specific to that Wednesday night Susan G. Komen. They did great. They couldn't believe it. At the end of the month, we had an event where we invited the whole marketing team to lunch from Susan G. Komen, and they were presented with a check. I believe it was in the amount of $1,500 for the month, and it was fantastic. You might be a bar and restaurant, and you might want to promote Ravens games on Sundays. So you might want bar business on Sundays. Come up with a promotion. Another thing we did for Ravens Sundays is to get bar business, to get people in seats on Sundays, was to drop your name into a hat for a raffle for a Ravens jersey. Promoted the heck out of that through social media. People came in on Sundays, they dropped their name into a business card into a raffle, and then at the end of the season, we gave away a jersey. Made a big splash on social media about that too. There's just a lot of fun things that you can do, and I want to get your wheels turning, because I bet you have 3 or 4 things in mind that you could do. So this is October. So let me show you a calendar on how you would lay this out, okay? Take a calendar, a blank calendar, and start penciling in a mix of sales, informational, and seasonal content on a 4-week calendar based on your goals. So what I have here is Sundays, a Facebook post. This is for a realtor. Homes that are just listed for the week. I might want to get that information out at the beginning of the week. On Tuesday, I'm going to make myself a note that says to write a blog post or 2 blog posts, and that gives some marketing trend information and maybe some advice to my customer base. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm going to promote the blog post. I'm going to create a Facebook post that talks about what open houses are coming up. And then on the weekend, I'm going to again remind everybody that there's a weekend event happening that I want to drive people to. So this is an example of a calendar that you should create on your Outlook calendar, your Gmail. And I want you to schedule time in for yourself to work on these posts every week. If you don't schedule time and make it a task, you're not going to get it done. The most successful people schedule things in and allow 10 to 15-minute blocks of time to get this done. Over a period of time, it's going to become second nature. I promise you. I want to show you a couple of examples of how.
One thing, sorry to interrupt you, but so Mark Ottinger asked, some of these sound more like tactics than strategies. Are there specific strategies that you could mention versus a tactic, I think that he's asking?
So what's Mark's industry?
Mark, if you went typing into the question box what your industry would be. Beauty.
Beauty?
Yes.
So here are the strategies. And you're right, I do. I mix tactics and mechanics in here too, because that's how my brain thinks. I think holistically. But you know, your strategy, if you're in beauty, you're going to generate traffic to your beauty store, okay? And one of the seasonal themes might be what I see all the time, and again, is, you know, when I'm looking on Instagram is, you know, fall hair. Okay, if you're a hairstylist, I'm assuming you're a hairstylist, but it might be something about, you know, getting ready for the holidays or getting a new look for fall. So that might be your theme. And then how you approach that post on social media is up to you. But I want you to carry that strategy of generating traffic to your business through a fall-centered theme and then a post related to that. So if I have, let's just say you're a beauty industry and your October sales promotion is, my strategy is I want to raise the amount of product sales that I have for the month of October. That's all I'm going to talk about to people on social media, because I really want to get the number of product sales up 20% this month. That's my strategy. So what is your fall theme? Your fall theme, or build your campaign around a theme is my approach. And nothing is easier than picking October, being that it's fall, or the fact that the holidays are coming up and you want to look your best. Or one of the other things that happens in the beauty industry is you've scorched your hair over the summer because you've been out in the sun too long. Turn those into social media posts. Those posts should then include a call to action, the promotion, and a way for them to respond, to get in touch with you. I hope that answers your question. If there aren't any other questions, I want to give you a couple of specific real examples of what I'm talking about with posts. We're coming to the end here, and I want to leave some time for questions. I have an example here from a realtor that I know. Her name is Nikki, and she does some really good stuff on social media. Earlier, I talked about having different types of posts, not always posting about your offer. What I like about her posts is that she has a seasonal approach. So sometimes she's just trying to say hello. She doesn't have she may not on that day have an open house that she wants to feature, but she's putting content out there that's gorgeous. A fall theme that just, you know, makes everybody happy because they see a gorgeous photo of fall. So it's a seasonal approach. Another type of content that she posts regularly is an infographic about the housing market. That's a great piece of content to put out on your social media. share some facts, share some figures, get a conversation going with people. Position yourself as a thought leader, an expert in your industry. I have two more examples. When I saw the free shred event, I told her, I said, I have to use this in my presentation because she's thinking outside of the box. So she's a realtor, but she's promoting a free shred event. This is great. This is business building 101. Come out. You know, don't pay for shredding, which is kind of expensive. Come out. We're going to hold this event. And while you're here, we're going to talk to you. We're going to build a relationship with you. You might not have a house right now that you're putting on the market. You're not looking to sell, but you might have a friend who does. So word of mouth is going to happen here. They're going to remember you. You're going to become top of mind. So any kind of tie-ins that you can put on your social media, any events that you can tie into are a great idea. And then lastly, of course, she posts her upcoming open house for a house that she has listed. So she's got her bread and butter here, but she thought outside of the box on ways to approach her followers with interesting content to keep the dialogue going. Here's a couple of social media specifics for Harford County. So in November, Shop Small is a big thing. So I have an awesome photo here from a post from the Humane Society of Harford County. And come on, this dog is adorable, and he's wearing his Shop Small handkerchief on his neck, and it makes me want to run to the Humane Society and adopt a pet. Great use of Shop Small from an unlikely source from Humane Society. I mean, that's, again, that's very creative and thinking outside of the box. They took an awesome photo of a pet. So we're not looking for, high-end photos. We're just talking about things that are well-lit, creative, and interesting for people to see. I have another one of a comic book store here in town, and this is a post from their social media with Show Love, Shop Small. Another one here from the Harford Artists Association, another post, and they're advertising Shop Small. So I have a couple of hashtags on here, which I'd like you to consider in your adding to your posts to help generate followers and awareness. Shop Small, Harford County, Bel Air. When you post these specific hashtags, it brings the people who are in our area, when they search, it brings up your content in their search results. So I wanted to bring that to mind. So I'm going to wrap all this up for you by saying that I want you to start out small. I know that I gave you a lot of information, and I hope that the information I provided today was useful. But I want you to try Facebook first for a month and get familiar with it. And then after that, build in one additional social media channel each month until you start feeling comfortable. And then create a mix of posts across different channels. Review your posts after a month. How did you do against your goals? Did you meet your goals? Go back to that strategy. Did you increase your sales product? Did you get more people calling to make appointments in your beauty industry? How are you doing with your car sales? Are people mentioning that they came to you and saw your ad through social media? That's how you measure your goals. But if you didn't meet them, it's okay, because you're going to change it up and you're going to re-execute the next month. You're going to fine tune it. The other thing I wanted to point out, going back over this presentation, is that when you're just getting started, everything seems monumental and so huge and so hard. But if you start small and you give yourself one or two goals and one social media channel for a month, you'll just start to get used to the feel of it. Here's a tip. Go check out your competitors. The first thing I did when I got onto social media years ago is followed everybody who does what I do, because I wanted to see what they post and how they talk to their customers. Go find your competitors and see what they're putting out there. See what you like. And copy and share everything. CASE is another acronym. See what works and make your own. Personalize it to yourself and put it out there. Social media is here to stay. The sooner that you get out there and start getting your feet wet, the more comfortable you're going to be and the more easy it's going to come to you. I guarantee you on that. And with that, I would have a couple of next steps, and then we have some time for questions. What I'd like to say, I have 3 next steps for you. I would love it if you would sign up for our next webinar, Digital Media Marketing for Small Business. We're going to hold that November 18th and 19th. Now, I covered a lot in this hour, so we wanted to offer a 4-hour, 2-day session so we could really get into it, slow down a little bit, and have everyone be able to build their own social media calendar and sample posts. So hopefully you'll be interested in coming to that. I'd love to see you there. And we'll send out registration links in a follow-up email to today. And I'd also like it if you would please fill out the feedback survey from today's seminar, just so we can know what we did well and what we can improve on for next time. I really hope that you learned something here and took some kernels away from this webinar today. It was a pleasure hosting. And now we have time left that I would love to open up into Q&A for everyone.
And I have the chat window open. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in. Rich said, very good webinar. Thank you. Thank you, Rich. We appreciate the feedback. But we built in time for questions. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you attending. I have 2 different ideas for business, virtual assistant and life coach. It's crazy to try to launch them both at the same time, from Lisa.
Well, are they two service offerings that you can combine as a package deal? And then I would also say to that, I would probably concentrate on one and then the other. I would do one maybe for 6 months and then fold the other in.
All right. Thank you. Another question for Laura. So Laura, we are going to work with our marketing department to download the video and try to get it to our YouTube channel. Just want to make sure there are no clearances that are needed in regards to that. But we'll be sending an email out to attendees so that you'll be able to circle back. Thank you for your feedback, Linda. Rich, how do you feel about auto scheduling? If you wanted to jump out there, and then I'll actually jump to follow up with you in regards to that. So,
auto scheduling, yeah, I auto scheduling is. I was going to put it in this presentation. I will have it in the 2-day. I do believe in auto scheduling, but they're subscription based, and it depends upon your budget. So I didn't want to put something out there that I know is costly for small business, because there is a way to do this as a small business person without needing a scheduler. And it all depends on budget. What are your thoughts, Austin?
I'm actually a fan of auto scheduling. So I consult for a couple local realtors within the Harford County area, in addition to Memphis, Nashville, Dallas, and Houston. So all the work I do for them as far as like social media content development is with auto scheduler. So I utilize Planoly, because what I'm able to do is, after I spend time researching hashtags that are, most effective and current, I'm able to store them inside of Planoly. Planoly also gives you immediate feedback on the best time to post. It gives you the analytics on, your highest peak times, how many likes, how much engagement you're receiving, what your reach is for the week. And besides, the most important, which is actually scheduling your content. So I'm able to spend a Saturday or Sunday, making all my content, dropping it in there for the week for the client, gives them enough time to be able to review, make any adjustments that are needed, move around the calendar if they so choose. But it frees me up from, having to worry about either waking up extremely early in the day or later on in the evening.
Well, there you go. So we'll have that in our 2-day. We're going to go through a couple of the different schedulers and go into a little bit of detail on there to make your life easier.
Right, but great question. Emma left. Let me skip over hers. Posting videos of products or demos are engaging as a question. And I would say yes, especially if you're able to explain, your demos, if you're able to explain and also explain the benefits, don't just highlight the video, but also explain some of the benefits and why a person, may want to purchase the product.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
All right. I like the part about specific times. I'm usually all over the place. This is a good idea. I'm going to try to put in place Ron filling. Ron, I think that you all will see tremendous benefits with the consistency. If you were to able to look at an auto scheduler, I think that Thompson would surely benefit from that. Question from Deborah: is there a webinar that actually helps create a business Facebook page?
So when we do our 2-day webinar, we're going to go into more detail on creating your page.
All right. Another question: are there supplemental apps that you would recommend?
Supplemental ads for
applications. So like how I put out and said Planoly as one. Are there any supplemental apps that you would put out there?
I don't use a lot of extra apps with social media. I usually Hootsuite is one, but that one is a scheduler also, but again, it's subscription based. How about you, Austin? Do you have any other apps that you use?
I use Planoly. A lot of the content that I've been and templates I've been utilizing is based around Canva. I love Canva. I'm on Canva 7 days a week, building content, not only, like I said, for myself, but for others. If you do not have somebody within the graphic media skill set within your business, I would highly encourage you look at it at Canva or like Adobe Spark, just to start out to get a feel for making posts. It'll allow you to have some variety within your posting. Allows you to also build consistency because you can develop your hex color codes within your brand kit. You can upload your logo. Especially for the individual who is starting out and when starting out in business, sometimes funding and resources are limited. I definitely think that you would benefit from utilizing a program such as Canva.
I use Canva too, and Canva is going to be featured in our next 2-day. Canva is canva.com. So a lot of you look into it now. I would highly recommend looking into it now. A lot of these posts that you see online that look so beautiful and so style, looks like a graphic designer style that comes out of templates from Canva. What I want to do in the next 2-day webinar is show a Facebook page being created from scratch, and then go and use a tool like Canva and show you how to drag and drop pictures and words to make your post, because I think that will be very helpful to everybody to actually see it done firsthand.
All right, perfect. Let me see. Going. Does Facebook allow you to schedule posts for free? So
yes, you can schedule in advance on Facebook. And it is, last time I checked, it was free. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can make your posts scheduled in advance, which is wonderful. So if you do only have time at night to work on your social media, you can post for your next day at a specific time, and it'll do it for you.
So within the app of Facebook, but that's something I haven't played around with, but I know Planoly, Scheduler, and there are a couple other apps that are free that allow you to pre-schedule posts. So there are some free posting applications out there that you can, pre-schedule. What's the best way to research hashtags?
The best way, well, so you can use Google and Google hashtags for your business. Literally, Google it. Keywords for your business. So if you're real estate, Google hashtags for realtors in Harford County. The other thing you can do is put in your search query on Instagram in the search box, and if you start, they will come up, and it will show you on Instagram how many people follow that particular hashtag. So clean eating, for example, believe it or not, it's one that's in my brain as a food blogger. You can see how many people follow that hashtag. So any of your content that is associated with that hashtag will come up in the search results. So go to Instagram, go to the search box, and type in the anything surrounding your industry, and then it will auto-populate a bunch of different hashtags. And you can see how many people follow them. Any other questions?
I love Canva too. Carmen said Canva's easy to use and create posts. Back to Tierra. Another way that I guess we'll leave and end off with this. Within Instagram, if you're inside of the application, you can open up the search window within Instagram. And then when you're inside of the search window, there is places and tags. I oftentimes look in places in the area in which I'm in. So for me, it'll be Edgewood. So I'm looking at what are some of the more popular posts or the more recent posts within Edgewood or Bel Air or Harford County or wherever it may be. Look at some of the hashtags that are used and then generate a hashtag bank from there and then see what other hashtags are linked to that area as well. Because some people, tend to search from, based upon geographical area or hashtags that are linked. So the search tool is another great way to find out. But we would like to thank everybody for attending today. It was greatly appreciated. We will also be sending out additional information if you or somebody in your organization is interested in our 2-day webinar. As we said before, it's going to be 2 4-hour sessions where you'll be able to ask more in-depth questions. There will be homework assignments for you and your organization, because when you leave, we want you to be able to directly implement some of the strategies that we talk about within class to see growth within your organization. So thank you on behalf of Harvard Community College, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.